So today I have the two founders of VisualAfterVisual. We're very, very thankful to have you here tonight. And I'm just going to read off a bit of a biography about who they are and what they do so you understand why they're here in front of you right now. So, VisualAfterVisual, or VAV for short, is a professional video production and photography company from St. Catharines, Ontario. VAV was founded in July of 2017 by childhood friends Clay and Leon. Clay, who is the head producer and creative director at VAV, has had a passion for the camera from a young age and brings years of experience in video production and content creation from his freelance work and self-documentation during his journey as a fitness competitor in Calgary. So this is Clay right here on the left.
Hello, everybody.
Awesome. You'll want to clap after this one too. So Clay was able to use these skills to build a following of over 10,000 on Instagram and leverage this following into sponsorships and entrepreneurial opportunities for himself in the fitness industry. So that's quite the success. And Leon, here on the right, clap, yeah, we got to clap for both. So Leon is the project manager at VAV, and he holds an accounting degree from Brock University. Leon combines his education in business and accounting with Clay's creative expertise to provide a solution for forward-thinking business owners, entrepreneurs, and experts who connect with their clients and customers through the internet and social media. So thank you, too, for coming out tonight. I met you about 2-3 months ago now. And was it 2-3 months ago? Around there?
I think we met a bit before that.
A bit before?
Yeah, but the two of us, I think you met about 2 months ago.
Okay, yes. Okay, so that's correct. So I'm happy that you guys are here, but not just as people attending, but as the keynotes. And as I've mentioned to you before, but the reason I thought they would be great is they just have a lot of energy, a lot of positivity, and just from a few conversations and interactions I've had with them, I've learned a lot. And I think that all of you as entrepreneurs, whether you just started your own business, you've been in it for a few years, or you're an expert like David over here, then I hope you learned something from tonight. So I just want to start off by talking a little bit about who you are and a bit about your background and how that led you to where you are today. So we'll start with you, Leon.
Sure. I mean, where do I start? It's a long story. Clay and I have been friends since the 8th grade. So, I mean, it's been a long journey, and we didn't necessarily grow up together. We went to different high schools, and he ended up moving to Calgary and, doing his videography and his fitness competitor journey. But it was a series of events that kind of brought us together and brought everything full circle. I was sitting at Brock doing accounting, and he was doing videography and doing his fitness competitions and stuff in Calgary. But unfortunately, and Clay can tell you a little bit more about this, but fortunately his mother passed away in November 2016, which forced him to come back home. Right? So he had a sister here who was about to start college, and they had a house over here that they had to maintain and take care of.
Wow.
So sadly he had to move all the way back here with his girlfriend so that they could, take care of his sister and, keep his mother's house, which she worked so hard to build. But on the flip side, it was good for me because I got, one of my best friends back, and I got, my business partner. So both of us had always had kind of an entrepreneurial mindset. And as far as where we wanted to go in life, we knew that, I should say, that's the path that we wanted to take, and that's the path that would take us, and help us achieve our goals. And the type of path that would just fit our personality. And so Clay was showing me, we were just sitting in my house, just hanging out, and he was showing me some of the video projects he was working on, and I was looking at them, right? And I saw them, and I was looking at them, and I said, hey, the quality and the level of work that you've managed to get yourself up to is good enough that, you can make a living doing this. You're going out of college, you're taking electrical techniques. It's cool, but it doesn't necessarily seem like it's your passion. Why don't we take this, something you're talented in, and something that, could help a lot of people, and something that could be a little bit more lucrative, be a little bit more rewarding for you. I have the background in business, I have the background in accounting. I can help you turn this into a business model, and we can use it to help business owners. So that's how we came together. Now with the name VisualAfterVisual, it's kind of like there's kind of like a twofold meaning behind it. So one, and again, Clay will tell you a little bit more about the backstory. He had a YouTube channel before called V Strong, which is kind of in relation to his mother and just kind of, you know, to help people that had kind of gone through a similar loss, and then show, like, you know, document his life through vlogs and show him going through it, and just helping others stay positive when they go through things like that. But that kind of segued into our business, and with our business name VisualAfterVisual, our initials VAV, it's also kind of a tribute to his mother. His mother's name is Vicky Upson, starts with a letter V. Kind of cheesy, but there's that. But also because what essentially we're trying to do with our business is we're trying to take how we look at it is every business or any kind of enterprise someone starts, everything starts as an idea in somebody's mind, right? So essentially what we're trying to do with our videos, we're trying to take business owners, learn about them, what makes them tick and what makes them different, and take that, whatever that internal vision is that inspired what it is they're trying to do, and use his creative skills to translate that into content that's going to get people interested in what it is they have to offer. So it's like taking the first internal visual in your head and then turning it into something in real life. So that's how Visual After Visual came about. I hope that made sense.
No, that's an incredible story, and I think it's just so brave of you as well to be able to use an experience that had to have been so difficult and so challenging, but to be able to find the positive in that, and in a way, an expression of love and giving back to your community, but also to your mother.
Yes.
And did you find that when you finally started to begin the video series and the videography, did you find that helped you with the healing process and giving back?
Yeah, definitely it did, because it was almost, I would say, like a therapy kind of thing at the same time. I would just open up on my emotions on how I felt on my birthday, and especially like on my mom's birthday and Mother's Day and stuff. So I just got in front of the camera, kind of said how I felt, and yeah, it was really nice to kind of get it off my chest rather than kind of keeping it in and just like thinking about it. But yeah, it really did help with that, and kind of just putting it out there for other people too as well, to show that you don't have to hide in your emotions too as well. And you know, it's okay to cry here and there sometimes, because you have to feel every feeling. So I think it was really helpful.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
And I think that's exactly it. Think of the amount of people you have helped to understand that whatever you may be going through, trauma, issues, even with entrepreneurs, there's so many daily struggles we go through. But knowing that you can open up about it, and you can use your skills, whether it's videography, photography, fitness, marketing, whatever it may be, you can use those skills to be able to heal, but also to be able to help your community.
Yes.
So I think it's great that you've been able to use your experience that at the time, and still at the time, probably it's not the best experience,
Yeah.
but you're able to use it in a positive way and make a difference with your business. So tell me about your background in fitness and how that has led you here.
So pretty much the fitness side of things, when I moved out to Calgary, I started working out, and I wanted to play on the junior football team out there. So I ended up trying out, and I made the team, and I was in the gym heavy. But then the season started, and I kind of lost my passion for football, and it turned more into the fitness side of things. So then from there, I got in. So I quit football, and I was at Good Life. So I just decided to like get the 2-year membership and stay in there for the whole time. And as I was working out, I was talking to some guys around the gym, and they were talking about these shows and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. Maybe I'll try it out and see how it goes. And I did my first show, and then I got addicted, and I got on stage and get the pictures back and everything. So I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. And then I was kind of thinking, like, how can I turn this more into a business, though? Because that's how I usually think of things, too, as well. If I enjoy it, then maybe I could, you know, get something by doing this. So what I did was I used Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and I started documenting my journey. So what I do to get prepared for my next show, and what happens after that show in the off season. So I was kind of just documenting everything I was doing, giving daily updates on Instagram of like physique or whatever I was eating and stuff like that. And eventually it turned out to companies were coming out to me and asking to partner up for sponsored ads and stuff like that, promotions. And throughout the YouTube videos, I worked with a local company. They had a monthly barbell box, so you get a box delivered to your door with a whole bunch of supplement, kind of just samples and stuff like that. So he gave me a box every month, and I made the video review for it. And so I got a box for like free every month, and was making the videos. But he saw I was doing the content, and he wanted to bring the awareness to his brand. So we worked together, and kind of we each got some benefit out of it. So yeah, I just used the fitness to get even posing. I was doing posing for clients for upcoming men's physique shows. So I was taking them through how to go through your transitions and stuff like that. And I was recording it too as well, so showing behind the scenes of me working with other people. So people were seeing like, okay, he's actually working and documenting everything too as well. So it just worked out pretty well with being able to get paid a little bit from sponsors and get free stuff kind of in between too as well.
And that, with that experience, that just shows all of your creativity and all the skills that you have with the videography and just that creative side. But then you have your best friend here on the other hand. Yes, you're creative, but in a different way because you come from the background of accounting.
Yep.
So that's more of the businessy side of things, right?
Yeah.
So coming together as two different people, creative and more business, professional, entrepreneurial, how has that worked? Coming together, what have you done to be able to work that together as partners?
Well, you know what I would say, it works. It's not hard at all for that to work together because at the end of the day, it creates a situation to where both of us are bringing things to the table that the other person can't necessarily bring. So it makes it so that we know what our roles are, we know who's responsible for what, and it's a nice fit. It's like a left brain and right brain kind of combination to where he's the creative side, I'm the business side. So we're able to work independently, but when we come together, it's also a lot easier because we understand each other's role and what we're going to do.
And what would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned being business partners about having a co-founder?
Having a co-founder?
Yeah, or like being two business partners, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about that?
That's a good question.
Very good question.
It's a tough question.
One lesson I can think of is just the importance of being able to be honest with each other.
That's so important.
Because especially with us, being friends for so long and knowing each other for so long, being able to, I guess, give our honest opinions and, be able to be constructively critical. So that, and just not being yes and because my friend, if he, puts a video together, for example, and I don't like a certain thing, or I think like, one of our clients likes something else, I can actually tell them. Yeah. Rather than just saying, oh, it's great, man, like you did a good job, and they send it to the client and then they're pissed off, right? So I would say that's one big lesson that's very important for anybody who is going into business with a partner, being able to be honest and tell each other what's up and just...
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably very important because you're friends, right? And I always think for a lot of founders, if you are going to have a partner in your business, most likely it's someone that is a friend or someone that you've known for a while because you trust them. But then, as you said, it comes to the point where you don't want to hurt their feelings because they're your friend, or you don't want to tell them the truth because you don't want to ruin the friendship. But at the end of the day, yes, you are friends, but you're also business partners.
Yes.
So you have to be, as you said, honest and transparent with each other and making sure you're communicating at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
Have you ever had any problems with that? With communication? Any experiences or examples with that?
So far, I would say no. I mean, our personalities are both pretty agreeable people in the first place. So, I mean, it's never been a situation to where we're like really fighting with each other or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean... At the end of the day, we understand that although we're friends, we're trying to run a business, you know, and we're trying to, provide good quality service. So we got to be able to talk to each other and tell each other the truth about things. Otherwise, there's no business, right? So
exactly. So I want to move into our topic about videography, photography, video series, and just creating that creative content. How can entrepreneurs use platforms like that and creative skills such as videography to help maximize their business?
So I'd say pretty much it's more of like don't think I guess as creative, just document kind of what you're doing, even if you have like your cell phone in your pocket, and document the process of what you're doing, because everybody does something different, so it's interesting from someone's perspective differently. So I would say, just document kind of what you're doing, and then with all your documentation, you can curate certain content for different platforms. So you can have a 1-minute video for Instagram, But so out of a 5-minute video total that you made, you can use 1 minute for Instagram, maybe 3 minutes for a Facebook video, and then put the whole thing on YouTube. And then you can cross-promote through all of those channels. Hey, check out the full video on YouTube. If you see it on Instagram and you like this little 1 minute so far, check out the full version. And yeah, just like linking them that way, it's all free, right? So you might as well use it while we can and kind of just document and put it out there.
Yeah.
And going off what he said, I think it's also a lot about personal branding, but also branding when it comes to your business. I feel like with the social media platforms that we have available, there's an opportunity that we have now that we didn't have before to really build a personal connection with the people that you're trying to reach. And there's also the fact that you can reach those people directly in any manner that you want, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're a business owner, people buy from people that they trust, right? So if you're able to document your whole process, document everything you're doing, show that there's a real person behind the business, show the things that you do well, even show like the little imperfections and the things that go wrong, it just allows people to really connect and engage with what it is you're doing. And I feel that going forward in the coming years, the business owners and the entrepreneurs that take advantage of that are going to be the ones to see the most success.
And I love your point, Clay, how you mentioned to document the process. I think that was a real eye-opener for me when I first started my business, because being the founder of an elderly services business, I found it was really difficult to use social media and the internet in general to get to the elderly population, because, to be honest, not a lot of elderly people are on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat. So I found I had to find other creative ways to get to them. But I found documenting the process. For example, I was at Hutch's the other day with a client, and I was like, how could I use this to kind of advertise what I'm doing by taking people out into the public, out of their nursing home, out of those same 4 walls they see every day, and tell them that I bring elderly people out into the public, help them to live with purpose, get them involved in the community, that sort of thing. So I was like, you know what? I should take a picture just here at Hutch's and just post it on social media and say, this is what I'm doing, this is the process.
Yeah.
And that's how you get people to notice you.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really good point. And I think it'll help you, that's for sure. And I find the thing is, though, with videography, photography, do you find a lot of you entrepreneurs kind of shadow away from it or shy away from it because you feel that you're not an expert? Is that common for some people? Yeah. Because a lot of times when we hear videography or photography, we think of the professionals who have these high-quality cameras and high-quality equipment, and we say, well, I don't have the expertise for that, and I also don't have the money for that, so I'm not going to be buying a Canon camera. So what's your advice to those entrepreneurs that may not have the funding for expensive equipment or also don't have the expertise? How can we just find simple ways to be videographers and photographers on our own?
Good question. Glad you asked that. Well, I would say, number one, when it comes to branding yourself and using social media and using these platforms, it's not necessarily about having, the best quality or the flashiest camera or anything like that. It's more about the quality of the actual content you're putting out, and does it connect with people, does it represent your business well, or whatever it is you're doing, right? So, I mean, there are so many avenues that you can use nowadays to learn how to do these things yourself, even if you can't afford, a professional come in and do it for you. Like, not everybody can be like, like a Gary Vaynerchuk or something where you have like a camera phone on you 24/7 to catch all the genius things you say, right? But, I mean, even like the iPhone 7 shoots in 4K, right? So you can buy a little mini tripod for like $20, set it up, and just talk. Let's say you're like a lawyer or a financial advisor, and you just want to brand yourself as an expert to get people into what you're doing, and just kind of, brand yourself as an expert and kind of use it as a gateway drug. You can shoot for an hour, shoot a bunch of maybe like 10-second tips, post on LinkedIn, post on Facebook, post on Instagram, and you can start building content that way. And if you're consistent and you keep not harassing, bombarding, but you're just consistent with getting it out there and people see it often enough, they'll remember you. And then when they think of something that they need that relates to what you do, you're going to be the person that they think of, right? Mm-hmm. Now, going off that point, we realize that not everybody can afford to hire a professional, which is why we also use our YouTube channel to kind of help people to learn the ropes of creating content for themselves you know, and even if they don't have the best setup, even if they just have a basic camera or just an iPhone or something like that, they can still use that stuff to create content for their business. So what we do is on our YouTube channel, we have 2 series that release every Wednesday and Sunday. Wednesday is What I Wish I Knew Wednesday, and Clay can tell you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, let's hear that.
Yeah, so pretty much What I Wish I Knew Wednesday is like me being the videographer side of it, and what I wish I knew when I first started out, so the small things and stuff like that. And it's not always video, sometimes it's just related to social media in general, like the new Instagram TV that came out. I made a video on how to resize your content for it and stuff. So if anything new comes out, then I'll put on What I Wish I Knew, because that's something that I wish I knew. Or if I'm looking through and like, oh, I wish I knew that, then I'll make it the next video topic or something like that.
That's an awesome idea. And then you said Sunday, you also have a video series that comes out. What's
Yes.
that one about?
So every Sunday we have our series called Fireside Tech, which is more of like the technical side of creating content. So, like for example, how to choose your first, you know, digital camera, or maybe if you're on a budget, free editing programs that you can use to slap something together.
That's a good
on your
one.
Social media. So we have a ton of tutorials like that, and we've been pretty consistent with it. How many episodes do you think we're on?
We're on 23. Coming on this Sunday will be Fireside Tech, and I think What I Wish I Knew Wednesday is about 3 or 4 behind. So yeah, it's
That's awesome.
getting out there.
Yeah, that is for sure. And I like your point as well, how you were saying to be the expert in your industry or be the expert in your field. If you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, you need to be the expert in that business, right? You want people to go to you for the advice, for the help, for the mentorship, whatever it may be. And I like your point how you were saying you can use videography and video series to display your brand as an expert. So how did you find you did that for yourself? Like, what advice could you give to people for being more of an expert for your brand?
Be more of an expert, I would say just constantly learning and constantly doing research. You know what I mean? Like, I know Clay, when it comes to the videography, photography, if he's not working on a client project, he's watching tutorials on YouTube to learn like something like new editing style or latest piece of technology or anything like that. He's always staying up to date with what it is he's doing, and that's what allows him to, you know, to continue being an expert, because at the end of the day, with the field that we're in with technology and social media, things are always changing, and they change so fast. So if you're able to stay on top of it and share that information with people as you go along, I think that goes a long way in branding yourself as an expert.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
That's awesome. And we've been talking a lot about gaining followers and how important it is, yes, to gain a following, but not just followers as in numbers, but followers in people who are truly engaged with you and eventually turn into clients, hopefully. And I want to talk a bit about your story, Clay, how you gained 10,000 followers and different tips or strategies you found worked for you in order to build that many followers in such a small amount of time.
So pretty much my strategy was, I'm a big like brainstorming kind of guy, so I'll write down like 30 different ideas, and I'll run off like those topics of like videos or pictures that I wanted to take in the gym and stuff like that. So I already kind of knew what I wanted to do for like the content wise. It was just a matter of capturing it and putting it out. So then I was doing the research of how to grow your Instagram following back then, and I saw a lot of, back then the algorithm was working for shout out, so I was getting on bigger fitness pages, sending in my pictures after workouts when I was in my best condition, and I would be a kid, can I please get a shout out? And then they would give me a shout out on their page that had a pretty big following, so then I got some following from that. And so in like business, you could find other pages that have bigger platforms, and you can kind of work, if you have something that could bring them value, maybe they will shout you out too as well, so that could be a way to get in that way. But other than that, it was more so the engagement. So I would sit down every hour on the hour. I was working at a supplement store, and when people weren't in, I was just on my phone commenting, liking stuff, and like sharing profiles like amongst other like competitors and stuff like that. And we just kind of had a community. We're working together, sort of thing, trying to grow our social media pages. So if you find kind of somebody on the same level that's trying to grow with you, then you guys going two heads at it will only be better. So I was just collabing with other, up and coming fitness people, and trying to take pictures after the gym too, so then you get on their platform and stuff. So just pretty much spreading awareness, almost like networking, getting in front of how many people you can. And I'm trying to think, other than that, it was pretty much, just engagement, real engagement, just going on to people's stuff, and not just following and like unfollowing and stuff like that too as well. because that usually turns out to be, you know, not the most real following. So if you want a more organic, you just follow the stuff that you truly like. So, you know, go into hashtag, if you're into vegan stuff, just go hashtag vegan and like and interact on the stuff that you truly actually like and when you're scrolling through.
Yeah.
That should help.
How do you do that without seeming too pushy, though? I feel like that's the biggest thing for me. I don't want the person on the other end of the phone to feel as if this girl is annoying, you know?
You're right. And there were so many times I sent many emails before too as well to try to get sponsorships before, and I just got shut down. But at the same time, I just kept doing it because, you know, not everybody's going to see the post all the time too as well. So you just
That's true.
just keep posting. You never know if maybe like the person, this will be the first time seeing it, they didn't see it last time you posted. So, you know, maybe don't think of it so much that way. Just kind of go to it, and if you have something you need to get out there, people need to see it. So don't really shy away from it. Just go all out because it's here, right? So might as well use it.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because that reminds me of a time at this networking event, maybe about 3 months ago. I had a man come up to me and he was saying, great job with all the social media that you do and all the different advertising. You're just on it all the time, every single day. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm so pushy, and people are like, oh my gosh, like this girl is always on social media and it's so annoying. But exactly what you said, he mentioned to me, that it's good that you do that because you never know who is seeing the post. And even though you posted it on Monday, maybe they didn't see it on Monday and they go onto social media on Wednesday and they see it then.
Yes.
So that's why it's good to always be constantly updating your statuses, updating your posts, blog posts, video series, so you get the word out there so that people can see it no matter the day, no matter the time, right?
Yeah.
So do you have any other advice regarding building followers but also making sure they're actually engaged before we close off?
I would say, first off, I mean, just being genuine and just making sure that the engagement that you're doing is coming from the right place. You know, commenting on things that are relevant to your business, whether it be other businesses in your community that are in the same, you know, industry or same field, or things of that nature. I mean, I think if you're just going around and just commenting and liking and talking to people for the sake of talking to people, people can see through that pretty easily. You know what I mean? But even if you're going on like your competitors' pages and giving them props, or, you know, you see them do something that you like and then, you know, you say so in a comment or in a DM, I think that works a lot better in your favor, you know, because it's just, I think people can see the people that are genuine and really really are interested in what it is they have to offer, versus the people that are just in it for their own gain. And at the end of the day, you know, the same way that we're all here networking in person, social media, I mean, just because you're behind a phone or behind a keyboard, you know, don't think that it doesn't have, you know, similar value. It's called social media for a reason, right? It's social. So just get on there, be social, talk to people, and just be genuine. That's what I would say.
Yeah. And for you, Clay?
Yeah, pretty much. Leon got that all right there. I definitely agree. Be genuine. Be consistent too as well. Make your face be out there. Like maybe just try to make it a pact to do one a day, one post a day, even if it's what you're eating or the shoes that you're wearing or something, just to get, you know, your face out there a little bit more and kind of build the brand of what you like and who you are.
Yeah, I would say also going back to what we were talking about before, the last topic about, you know, seeming pushy and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a business owner, you got to put yourself out there. The same way we're coming to these networking events and trying to talk to as many people as possible, make friends, build connections, things like that, you got to do the same on social media. And like, to me, I'd rather look, as a business owner, I'd rather look pushy, you know, like I really have a passion for my business and, you know, I think I have like the best thing to offer and I want to tell everyone about it, than be obscure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because if you're in obscurity, then you can't help anybody. And if you know that you have something of value to offer to people, then you want people to know about it, because at the end of the day, you're trying to provide a solution to them and help them. That's what business is, right? It's not just creating something to sell. It's providing a solution to a pain point or problem that somebody's having. And if you know that's what you're doing, there's no problem to tell everyone about it, right?
That's perfect.
So,
exactly right.
yeah.
So thank you so much. Yeah. To close off, I just want you to finish 3 sentences for me. I do this with every keynote, every person I interview, so be prepared.
Okay.
So we'll start off with you, Leon, and then Clay, you can finish off the sentence. Try not to copy each other's answers. All right, so entrepreneurship is?
Entrepreneurship is following your dreams, building something for yourself, a foundation that you reap the rewards of, and just, yeah, that's all I got.
Perfect. And Clay, entrepreneurship is?
I think it's just like hard work, dedication, staying committed. It's kind of just being who you are, really, I guess, kind of, that's what I look at it as. Yeah, I don't really know how to end it off. Yeah, that's what kind of comes to mind for entrepreneurship.
And success means?
Success means, success can mean a lot of things to different people, but to me, success is just setting a goal based on your values and what you want in life, and then going for it, and then not giving up, going through the obstacles, going through the hurdles until you accomplish it.
Success is?
I would say success is being able to say that you can wake up every day with like a purpose and being happy, and you know, just providing for your family, being able to be there for them when they need you. And I would say like that's like the most successful. That's success, I guess.
A piece of advice I'd give to a startup is?
Have patience. Don't expect that things will always go your way, that things will always go according to plan. Things always take longer than you expect them to, and be prepared for curveballs. You know what I mean? Always, like, what's the saying goes? They say, hope or aim for the best, but prepare for the worst. So work as if, you know, you're trying to make $100 million, but expect to make absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? So just expect all the bad things that can happen to happen, and have a game plan to prepare for it, so that, you know, you can go around those things and really achieve the success that you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm. And Clay, for you, a piece of advice I'd give to a startup is?
A piece of advice I'd give is so I still feel kind of new a little bit. At the same time, I'm trying to think what I would tell myself. Well, for me personally, I would say, because I'm nervous to go to networking events and stuff like that. So don't be nervous. Like, go out and put yourself out there and get in front of as many people as you can, because you kind of build it up in your head too much. So, you know, don't let the head games get to you. Just go out and actually just execute and get out there. And even if it's bad, you know, it usually doesn't turn out as bad as you thought it was in your head anyway. So that's what I would say.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Leon and Clay, for coming tonight, sharing your advice, your experience, and your business journey. And I hope that all of you were able to learn something new. Maybe it wasn't something new, but a refresher and just a bit of encouragement to continue to push forward with your goals and to achieve your business dreams. So thank you so much. We'll give them a round of applause. So we'll save a bit of time now for a question and answer. Does anybody have any questions for Clay or Leon?
Clay, are you still doing any type of bodybuilding YouTube channel, or is it all focused on your company now?
Yeah, so it's kind of, the YouTube channel has changed over to a new name. It's called Creative Pro. So it's like, I'm just doing daily vlogs. Well, I'm going to start rolling them out soon, but I'm going to put the fitness part back into it too as well, because when it came back after my mom passed, I kind of like lost control of my physique and stuff like that. So now I'm just going to talk about my mindset, how to get back into the gym and take control of things again. So I will be rolling it in there a little bit more, and maybe a show in the future too as well might be coming up. So
You change your diet too, right?
yeah. Well, and when I was bodybuilding, I was eating like meat all the time, and now, more recently, I think about 4 months ago, I've been fully vegan. So that's definitely a game changer too as well. So I kind of want to show the products I've been using, the meals I make and stuff like that too as well, and just kind of bring awareness to that side of things too, with the YouTube channel and Instagram and stuff.
That's awesome.
It's kind of less of a question and more just kind of some like points that I thought were kind of important, especially in your guys' case. One, like Leo said, try to work with somebody that you don't have to like tiptoe around. Like if you guys can't have an honest conversation with each other, and I mean this even goes with like if you have employees or that kind of thing. If it's somebody that you can't sit down and say like, I don't like how you're doing this, or like I like how you're doing this, like keep doing that. If you can't have those conversations, then you really don't have any business, right? That you don't have any reason to be working with each other. And then the follow-up one is from Clay, which is about the like one thing on Instagram, one thing on Facebook, and one thing on YouTube, and it can be the same content, but it's understanding the format.
Yes.
Right. So I think that you guys probably have a pretty good handle on it because that's your business, but I don't think enough people understand that like it can't just be the same thing across the board. It can. It can be the same content, but it needs to be thought about as like, okay, what are people on Instagram for? Because they're just scrolling through.
Yes.
What are people on Facebook for? Well, it's like their friends and family and people that they're going to share opinions with. And then YouTube's like, I don't watch TV anymore. If I want original content, I just hop on YouTube and I just let videos play, right? So I think it's important to, like, you can be making the same thing, you can be talking about the same thing, but it's how you talk about it that becomes important in those different platforms. So I think that was a really good point.
That's a great point, yeah.
Awesome.
Any other questions? Yes.
I just got a question for Clay. So, have you ever had an issue with perfection? Because I feel like that's one of my biggest flaws. So, with social media, I find it very difficult to post every day because I want that content to be perfect.
See, yeah, I do, and I still to this day struggle with that, even with videos and stuff like that too as well. But for a way to get past it, like Leon kind of helps me too as well, because he'll come by and say, "Oh, this stuff looks great," and things like that. So that helps. But to get over that, I think you just got to kind of put the blinders on and just do it, sort of thing. Even if it's not to your eyes, it's not nice, but other people are going to look at it from a different perspective, right? So I think of it, just go out and do it, dive into it, and don't think twice about what somebody else is going to think, because you can make another picture another day, and that might be the one that blows up to 10,000 likes or something like that, right? You never know. So the more you put out there, the more chances you get back out of it.
Yes.
I think there's a direct link between authenticity and imperfection, and people don't want perfection, people want authenticity.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just be authentic, and the imperfection
Yeah.
is what people actually.
Makes you who you are, definitely.
That's a great point. I really like that. Any other questions? Or comments? Yeah.
How long did it take for you guys to realize the content that you're putting is satisfying you as well as the audience? Because most often I find myself in a scenario where my audience is satisfied, but I'm not. And that kind of reflects on my work sometimes. I used to work as a photographer, so sometimes I do weddings and the client loves the picture, but I'm not satisfied by the end of the day. And the next time I walk into a wedding, I want to up my game because I want to satisfy myself too. And sometimes between that struggle, you actually lose the game itself.
Yes. You know what? What I would say is, at the end of the day, especially when it comes to photography and videography, at the end of the day, it's art, and people are going to have different perspectives. Like I tell Clay all the time, he shows me stuff, or he has stuff in his laptop, that is completely unreleased, and he doesn't think it's good. I think it's awesome, but what I'm telling you is, the people that you're trying to reach don't look at it the same way as you.
Mm-hmm.
You being a photographer, you being a videographer, you're an expert, you're a professional. So you see things differently than the people that you're making it for are going to see. And at the end of the day, who are you making it for? Are you making it for yourself, or are you making it for other people? That's what's important. And then also, even if, let's say they don't like it, it's still important to put it out, because it allows you to get the feedback that you need to improve and actually become, that high-level expert or photographer or videographer that you want to be. You can't improve yourself and get anywhere and become an expert in anything unless you're willing to be wrong, because once you accept the fact that maybe you're not as great as you think you are, you're able to learn the things that allow you to become that person you want to be. So I think just keeping that in mind is going to allow you to just put these things out, let whatever happens, happens. If they like it, great. If they don't, it's a learning experience, and I become better because of that. That's what I would say.
That's a great answer. Thank you for your question.
Great
Any
question.
other questions? If not, that's okay. Okay, yep.
What's your favorite editing app for Android to put together?
Android? Do you have Android?
I'm not. He's the editor. He's not an Android guy. He's a Mac guy. But for me, the apps that I've used on Android, pretty basic. I like InShot. I think that's a pretty good app, a basic app that anybody can use. If you have an Android phone, even if you're just doing little videos for yourself, I think InShot is pretty good. I've used some others, but that's the one that I found most consistently has enough options to where you can create maybe not professional content, but at least something that's good enough that you can post and be happy with. So that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I'll just say if you want research, I guess the top apps too as well, and kind of you can study it, I guess, too as well from there. I'm not really familiar with Android devices as much as Apple ecosystem.
Yeah. All right, is that it then? Any other questions? Yes, of
I
course.
just get one more question. It's kind of a question for both of you. So, being a startup, you don't really have like a large team. So you don't have a media team, a creative team. So I'm doing the creative side, like you mentioned, the left side and the right side. I'm doing the creative side, artistic side, but I'm also doing business. Do you ever consider kind of dabbling in the creative side, and vice versa? Do you ever consider dabbling in the business side? And you feel that it's important, or is it detrimental to kind of your?
I mean, we kind of dabble in each lightly. Like sometimes I'll be like a geek camera. I'll capture some B-roll footage, or if we want to do a vlog for something for our YouTube channel, I'll collect footage there. And you know, he's coming to the networking events now and getting to know people, mingling with people, and you know, helping pick some clients here and there. So we dabble in it a little bit, but at the same time, we kind of like to let each other focus on our strengths. I feel like as a business owner, you can't. Like when you're starting off, right? If you're alone, you kind of have to wear all the hats, but going forward in the future, if you want to grow, you can't expect to do everything by yourself. I think a good business owner is somebody who knows what their strengths are and is self-aware and is able to bring those pieces that they can't necessarily do well themselves and put it together so that they can provide something even better for their customers. So just being able to let go sometimes, let other people do things that, maybe you don't have the time for, or you might not necessarily be the best at, I think that will result in a more successful business.
Anything else? No? All right. Well, thank you again. We'll finish off once again with our clapping. That was great. All right, everyone. So we're just going to close off with a raffle. Has everyone had the opportunity to put in a business card? If you don't have a business card, it's a bit difficult, but the raffle is for, let's hear. So I would like to personally just say thank you to Adele. It was the beautiful lady right here. Is that a pink top? I don't have my glasses on. Pink top, yeah? Sure, right there, beautiful smile. So she came from Toronto, and she is now expanding her business into Hamilton. And she's with Renegade Extreme Fitness. So she has offered these 2 free fitness packages valued at $150, and then 3 gift certificates for a free class. So there will be 5 winners in total. So why don't I get you to choose one of the business cards?
Sure thing.
I don't think your own
Should I
name's in
look
it.
away?
Sure. Look away.
Okay, so the first winner is Seek Chic.
Is that you? Awesome. All right. Then why don't you come up here and you can take one if you'd like. I'm going to take that one. What would you like? You pick whatever one you want.
I'll take
Free class?
Sure.
Okay, there you go. Congratulations. Awesome. Okay, now why don't you pick the next one, Clay? Or
Yeah, Leon, you want
Yeah.
to take
Oh, you're all right. Cool. Okay, the next winner is BD Tutoring.
is he here?
I think that's Curtis.
Yeah.
I think he just went to the washer.
Okay, all right. Then
Does he
I
still
will
win?
put aside one for him. If he wants one, I don't know. We should probably ask if he wants one first. All right, next one. Close those eyes.
Crescendo Law.
There you go. Congratulations. What one would you like? Okay, perfect. Now these are for the free fitness pack worth $150.
Next winner is Art Aggregate.
That'll be me.
There you go. Congratulations. There you go. Don't thank me, thank Adele.
All right.
Last one.
Last but not least. Grab this guy.
Oh,
Leave Your Mark.
there you go. Congrats. Awesome. There you go. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming tonight. as I mentioned, it was so nice to meet all of you and to also see familiar faces again. I hope you enjoyed tonight's networking event. You were able to meet some awesome people, just get inspired by others, and just figure out how you can support one another here in our community. I always am just in awe when I come to these events every month and I have conversations with people, whether they're local Hamiltonians, people that have just moved from the big city of Toronto to Hamilton, or literally have just come to the country. Their words are always, this is such a community, and people are so supportive and friendly. And I'm just really grateful to hear that. And I'm happy that we can be here for each other and support one another as we try to achieve our goals and follow our dreams of being entrepreneurs. So I wish you the best. I hope to see you next month. Our events are always the first or second Wednesday of every month from 7 to 9 p.m. here at Commotion on King. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and we're done. Awesome. Thank you for coming.